Hey, KK, how you doing?
I'm good, Mark. Just go ahead and ask it.
Okay, you know it's coming. We all know how much pride you take in your defense. What was your reaction to not even being named one of the finalists for the Gold Glove Award yesterday?
You know what? My first reaction was very very surprised. And then once that emotion left me, I was disappointed. I was upset. Feel like what I did out there defensively was underappreciated this year. I wasn't flawless by any means, but I thought I was darn good out there, and not to even be considered top three. I don't know. I was thinking about these questions long before I got into this interview room, and try to tread lightly with my words and not say anything I'm gonna regret. But I think you guys know how I feel about it, and you know what? At the end of the day, though, I got a lot better things going on right now with the guys in that clubhouse out there playing the World Series. So I'm okay with it. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't upset about it, and I'll leave it at that. But once again, definitely feel like I was underappreciated. If it was solely based on the computers and the numbers, I don't know what numbers that computer was looking at, but I believe they got it wrong. That's my opinion. But I think there's a lot of other people out there who would agree with me, but it just wasn't my year to win it. But not being a nominee for top three is, I think it speaks for itself. And once again, we'll leave it at that. It's okay. It's gonna motivate me, make me work harder this off season. But it's a award that means a lot to me, and I've been fortunate to win it. But this year wasn't my year. It's okay.
Appreciate your news sense and anticipating the question. Thank you. What just as a part of that, what about nobody from the Rays anywhere? No Willie, no G-Man.
Yep.
I mean, Zunino. There's probably been 3 or 4 guys a case could have been made for.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's disappointing. I haven't talked to those guys particularly about it, and I planned on it at some point throughout the day. But just to remind them how much they should be proud of what they did. A lot of guys on our team. I mean, even we had a lot of guys who were very, very good out there. Margot, Renfro, and you never know what variables come in to play with a thought process or whatever. But the names that definitely Willie, G-Man, Z, all worthy of it. And I will say this, and I'm going to throw my pitch at it this way. I think there needs to be a utility award as well. And I'm biased because this guy's my teammate, but a guy like Joey Wendell plays Gold Glove, second base, third base any given night. And I'm not saying that because he's my teammate. I'm being very realistic, dead honest with you. And if you watch our games, you would agree with me as well. He just doesn't have enough innings to qualify at each position. And I think they need to rethink that and maybe possibly fit that in there sooner than later, because guys like him deserve the recognition to win a prestigious award like that. Because there's not many guys who can play Gold Glove positions at several different positions, and Joey's one of them. And I definitely want to, throw out my 2 cents about that. But yeah, disappointing that none of us were nominated. But once again, we got better things going on, and we have bigger goals in mind here within the next week.
John Romano.
Hey, Kevin, I don't want to belabor this point, but I'm just curious, did you hear from people after the announcement? And if so, who and what kind of things did you hear?
No, I was trying to take a nap yesterday on the off day, and just was going to scroll through Twitter just to kill some time. And the first thing I saw was Mark Tompkins' tweet. It said, no Kiermaier or whatever it said. And that's how I found out about it. And I was just chilling there in my bed. Marissa and Carter were sleeping in the other room, and I was just kind of, surprised about it. But yeah, it is what it is. Once again, not my year to win it. That's fine. I can handle that. But once again, not even being a nominee for top three, that's where, just had to scratch my head a few times and try to think it over. But it's okay. Life is good. I'm not going to lose sleep. I'm so happy with where I'm at right now with a great team, and And honestly, I'm at peace. I really am. It's okay, but it's definitely going to add fuel to the fire. I promise you that.
Pete Abraham.
Kevin, as a guy who has won the award and probably deserved to certainly be a finalist, do you think they don't yet have a handle on analytically how to evaluate center fielders given the different kinds of responsibilities you guys have?
Yeah, I mean, well, I would say yes in this moment right now, just because, usually that's something the computer or the analytics or something that, personally speaking, favor me a ton. And I don't know the ins and outs to it, but I have a lot of people who bring these certain statistics and things to my attention. So I'll gladly look into them and see, where I excel and how where I stand, as far as everyone else in baseball. Center field position, I like to see where, I rank in certain categories, and it's fun for me. Defense is my bread and butter. I take a ton of pride into it. So, yeah, I like looking into info and seeing, what kind of metrics or analytics they're coming up with. It helps guys like me a ton. So I try to be educated on the matter. But as far as, with their decision making and all the nominees this year, I don't know. I don't know, what gave certain guys, top position over other guys. There were some interesting names throughout both leagues at different positions that caught me a little off guard. And I think there were some exclusions that, got my attention as well. But it's hard, I'm not in the room or, in their database, however they come up with these numbers or things, but, I must not have been as good as I thought out there. But once again, you always try to find things to drive you, motivate you, and this will definitely be one of those things. And we got some business to handle from here on out this year with what we're doing against the Dodgers. But next year, you'll definitely be hearing words from me that I, once again, feel like I have to prove to everyone out there, who the best defensive center fielder in the major leagues is. And I'm going to work my butt off this off season and display that next season to remind everyone of just that. But we got ball games to win right now. That's what I'm focused on, to be quite honest. And that's where my attention's at.
This was a topic in conversation in Boston today as well. Do you ever talk about this when you run across other guys who play your position, and especially in the American League?
I don't talk to as many guys from the opposition as most guys. Honestly, it's one of those things. I don't have problems with anyone. I like talking to my teammates and,
Sure.
Representing the name across my chest. And there's a lot of guys who I'm a big fan of across the league. And if we cross paths, we're going to sit here and chat it up. But, I think guys like Jackie Bradley Jr., he's probably thinking the same things that I'm thinking of right now. And other guys who thought they would be deserving to at least be a nominee. I'm sure there's some unhappy people out there, but, life goes on. You have to live with it and accept the decisions that were made throughout this whole thing. But I could talk defense all day with anyone who's into it. It's the thing on this planet that I know the most. I don't know much about math equations or even hitting. I can't sit here and talk hitting, but when it comes to outfield defense, I could sit here and talk to anyone about it for as long as possible. I take a ton of pride in it, and I love doing it. But it is what it is.
Thanks, Kevin.
Eric Gold.
Well, I want to ask a defense question, so this is going to work out great. Kevin, you guys, we all see the game and how power plays and how power pays now. But the Rays seem to be a real run prevention-oriented team. And I wonder how you take that into account personally, too. If you steal a hit, is that as good as getting a hit? Obviously going over the wall for a home run takes a run away. But do you look at it in even in smaller categories?
Yep, driving in a run or taking away a run is just as valuable as driving in a run. And, obviously guys are always going to get paid a lot more to drive in runs to take them away. But when you have that skill set to take away runs on the defensive side of the game, it just makes you that much more valuable on paper. And then obviously, the eye test, what you can do each and every night, and being, an asset out there is just as important. And defense is just being valued so much more nowadays. It has been the last 5 years, especially. There's new analytics and metrics that come out each and every year. And once again, it's great for guys like me, where defense is, bread and butter. And it's nice to, get opportunities out there and have a front office, a coaching staff, baseball people who realize how important it is to have people on the defensive side of the ball who are really good at doing what they do. Because when you sit here and you win a ton of one-run games, or, any game throughout the course of a season, you can sit here and think back, what happened in the fourth inning when this guy, made a great catch on the left field line, runners on second and third, 2 outs. And like I said, you win that game by 1 run. You're going to get some love for that catch. But at the end of the day, homers and all those are a lot more popular to the average fan or whoever's watching a baseball game. But if you do the little things around the defensive side of the game from top to bottom for each position out there, those are usually the teams playing right now. And you look at a team like ours and the Dodgers, they pitch, we hit, we defend very well. And I think it speaks dividends. And once again, that's why we're both here.
Just a quick follow-up then. Do you think that defense is a more reliable way to win because offense can be streaky, but defense can be there every day?
Yeah. And, that's something that a lot of people told me coming up, hey, everyone's going to slump. Doesn't matter if you're me, Big Papi, Miguel Cabrera, Bellinger, best players in the game. We're all going to hit our offensive slumps. But for guys like me, my defense and my speed should never slump, injury bearing, of course. But when I'm out there in center field, I always feel like you're going to get elite defense each and every night. And unfortunately for all of us, that's just not the case from the offensive standpoint. This is a game of failure, but it doesn't have to be on the defensive side of the ball. And, that's the way it's always been, probably always will. But I enjoy when guys take a lot of pride in their defense, and it's a lot of fun playing next to those guys because it's contagious and helps you win ball games. And that's what's important.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I want to quickly get back to Mark Topkin before we run out of time.
Hey, Kevin, just to change the subject for a second, the roof's going to be closed tonight. How will you guys kind of adapt? Just try to figure it out during BP, and how dark or light it's going to be and all that kind of stuff. A lot of changes, I think.
Yeah, we'll definitely, get our work in during batting practice and see how the ball is flying or what changes anything out there. But I don't expect to see too many changes, to be quite honest. I think, it's going to be an even playing field. We got turf. There shouldn't be any wind or anything like that. So players aren't going to be too chilly out there. So I think it's just going to be a good even played game that everything's going to play fair and players are going to be happy. And, Mike Zunino said he kind of wanted that October atmosphere of like that chilly feel, but at the same time, with rain in the forecast and you got a retractable roof, why not close it? They're doing the right thing and it's what needs to happen. So we're all okay with it and we're happy.
All right, apologies to those we couldn't get to. That's all we have for KK.
All right.